New products today from Dolce&Gabbana, and keeping it initially Italian, Gucci. We have got the Gucci Mattifying Face Powder. Comes in 7 shades, $65. I got the shade 03. And we have got the Gucci Glow Skin Tinted Moisturizer. I got shade 24, but it comes in 20 shades and is $59. And the Dolce&Gabbana Ever Icon, there it is, holding it the right way, Ever Icon Eye Palette, $72. I got 1 shade of this, or 1 shade choice, and Hannah, my partner across the Atlantic, is going to get the cool tone one, but we'll talk about that more as we go. All of that today with me, Rebecca, on Not Fit for Print Beauty. I'm a fashion editor. I have spent the better part of my life, honestly, working with some of the biggest names in fashion and beauty, and that has given me the idea to start Not Fit for Print Beauty right here on YouTube, because we're not fit for print anymore. It's all digital now. And that gives you, like I said, a digital beauty magazine to look through every day or so here on YouTube. We're going to start getting into the wear test. I'll talk about the products more as we get into them. And, well, my goodness, let's go. Okay, I have nothing on my face except morning skincare, no primer, no anything. We're going to be working with 2 products, of course you know. We have our Gucci Glow Skin Tinted Moisturizer. I got shade 24. There are 20 shades and they are $59. Each shade is $59. Here it is. And we have our Mattifying Face Powder. We'll use this to not only powder under the eyes and around the nose, but also to give a little bit of coverage, because I won't be working in any concealer. Gucci does make a concealer, so that could have been good, but a lot of you don't own the concealer. So let me try to work with new products that you may or may not be purchasing. All right, here we go. Shade 24. There's not really much you can shake up here, but I'll shake it up anyway. $59. Kind of funny. This is the Tinted Moisturizer. What is the difference between a tinted moisturizer and it's kind of like a skin tint? Nothing really. It's all in the marketing. There should technically be a difference, but everything gets muddled in advertising. There is the way it looks. I think I did okay on the shade choice, but this is light to light medium coverage, so it's not going to matter too much. This is, again, $59. It is lightweight, light to medium, as I said. In some spots, it says it's radiant finish, and in other spots, natural, so you choose what marketing you want. There is no immediate scent to this. If anything, there's a little bit of it's like a medicine scent. I don't know what else to call it, but it is not floral, thankfully. I do believe we're going to have a different experience with the powder, as I've already taken a sniffer of that one. But this is interesting. So it's not as radiant as I thought it would be, and I like that. I don't like something that adds too much glow, because I can add that in with a highlighter, you know? All right, so let's take a look. We have one side of the face done very quickly. This side, of course, still just skincare. Definitely seeing, you can see on this side of my face, the side that has no product on it, it is definitely red, little spots, and you can see the kind of, hyperpigmentation and stuff that I have. This has quite handily covered it on that side of the face, and I got to tell you, I'm very pleased with it. It feels nice, so it doesn't feel like a serum foundation. A serum foundation ends up kind of like becoming part of the skin. I can, when I move my face, I can't feel it on there. But when I touch my face, I can feel almost like a moisturizing effect. Tinted moisturizer. Let's do a little second coat. I'm very pleased with the shade. So far, I'm liking this. Now, we'll do a wear test with this, but it's not going to be crazy. I mean, this is gonna offer, like, what do they say, 18-hour moisturizing, but it's not gonna offer that long in the way of coverage. This isn't the Charlotte Tilbury or a Natasha Denona product, which is like, you're applying a mask over your face. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's just different coverage. Apples and oranges. Okay, tried to get the middle of my nose there even too. Got a little stripe on my nose. That's 2 layers, so, light, medium. I really feel you can still see my skin through it, which I really like, and that's just a preference. The Charlotte and the Natasha foundations that I've tried just within the past week, and I've got Mario and Victoria Beckham Beauty coming up too. Need a foundation? Yeah, come here. At any rate, this one for me is just a personal preference. I just like the coverage. And there's the difference. Okay, I'm going to speed it up and do the other side, and then we can dive into the powder. Okay, and I did 2 layers, as you saw, or as you could hopefully see, with it sped up. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm loving this. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know you. You and I go way back. You're wondering if I prefer this or the Armani. So far right now, kind of this. I love the Armani. I got the wrong color with the Armani, but I got a newer shade more recently than that, and I like it better. But you're always going to love something when you can really hit on the color. And these light to light medium foundations are very stretchy with their colors because it's not a lot of coverage. So, you know, it's not hard to get the right choice, but I do like the natural finish on this. I don't find this quite as glowy as the Armani, and I do really like the Armani. So, you know, I'm kind of threading the needle here. I'm splitting hairs, as they say, to have a mixed metaphor there. But I kind of prefer this, actually. I really like the way this is sitting on the face. It's a very natural second skin. It's not adding in, it's not mattifying, and it's not adding in any glow. I kind of like that. All right, so we're going to let this wear test wear on, and we want to get to our Dolce & Gabbana, but let's add in the powder. Now, normally when I do a foundation review, as you guys know, I'm not going to add in powders and things, but this is being sold to go with it in any foundation you have, so let's give it a try. This is the Gucci Mattifying Face Powder with 18-hour wear. $65, which is interesting because this little guy is $59. $65. I got shade 3, but there's 7 shades to choose from. This is a matte medium coverage. So I thought maybe it could also just kind of take the place of concealer. I don't know. Let's see. This has a sponge. I'm holding a Sonia G brush. It does have a sponge in it. Cute little Gucci sponge. I'm not going to use it. I tell this story all the time. I just remember sitting in class in high school and just the girls next to me would get out their MAC black fingerprinted pressed powder with the sponge sitting on top that had literally never been washed, and they would just take it and rub it all over their face. And I just remember seeing that and just being like, so I don't tend to use sponges, especially when they're pretty like that. So we're going to use this. Also, this is going to disperse it. That sponge puts it on a little more. So it depends how oily your skin is. You can buy replacement sponges on Amazon. I just wash mine, but I'm just saying. Okay, so let's go in here. Here's the number 3. Let's see how... That's a little peachy. I'm not mad at it because it could hide a little bit of... So I'm going right into it. Yeah, this is like their bronzer. It's going to dissipate, but it's perfumey. I know, I hate that too. Those of you that just went, oh, okay. Let me just kind of hit this where... I'm going to hit this where I need powder. Around my nose. I'm dipping in off camera here, or out of frame, I should say. I'm just kind of hitting where, like here's the T-zone. Oh, it does have very medium coverage. So I just mattified my T-zone. And I'm going to do under the eye, and I'm going to set the eye as well because I put some on the lid. Is that fragrance bothering my eyes? No. Am I smelling the fragrance as I poof it onto my eye with this fluffy brush, or as I poof it onto my face with this fluffy brush? No, not at all. But if you put your nosy directly into the pan, you'll smell it. I am not feeling it or itchy or anything like that on my eye, and I am not noticing it anywhere. So I'm going to get this all over there, and we'll see. That way we can do a little wear test on both of them. I'm not adding concealer in because that might throw us off the scent of anything that's actually happening. Okay, so what we want to do is do as long of a wear test as possible, keeping in mind this is a lightweight, light medium tinted moisturizer. This isn't some sort of bulletproof, 18 hours on your feet at work foundation. So let's give it some grace. But we are going to give it quite a few hours and try to do a nice wear test. And when we do our midway check-in is when we will take a look at this Dolce & Gabbana palette. So I'm going to see you in a few hours for me. For you, it's going to be just like that. Okay, we are 4 hours into this wear test. I want to remind you that there are timestamps below. If you are just here for the Dolce & Gabbana eyeshadow review or whatever it is you need, please make use of those. Okay, 4 hours in, I have some YSL The Inks on my lips and just in my brows and a little bit of mascara. But anything that I'm wearing now you can find below in the description bar, and where I can, I put it up here in YouTube Shopping, which you can, if it's available in your country, you can click on and the video keeps playing. Heaven forbid you don't see that. And it'll let you kind of peruse, shop, look at other shades and things of that nature. Okay, so let's talk about where we're at 4 hours in. I am really loving this product so far. Not so much this one. Let me just talk about the powder first. The reason I'm not loving the powder is it is a little bit yellow. I don't mind if it goes peach because it kind of color corrects, but this I'm actually seeing a yellow streak where I used it. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. And I'm seeing a yellowness here and here. So it's a little too warm. Rebecca, you picked the wrong shade, perhaps. I'm not used to that mattering, but this one has a little more coverage. So the moral of this story is it seems to be a very good product, but it is going to matter what shade you pick. Okay, because especially if you're going to use it over something light coverage like this, with this being light to medium, a little bit more fuller coverage than this, when you pair these together, the shade matters. So I'm seeing, I'll tell you exactly where I put this because it might as well be blue. I'm seeing in yellow stripes where I put it. So other than that, the performance of the product is very good, but shade matters on that one. In terms of this little guy right here, I'm really enjoying it. This is what I would call, I would not call this, I don't understand glow skin on me. I don't have dry skin that sucks in moisture. I have very normal skin, but things that advertise themselves as radiant or glowy often are not on me. The Natasha Denona glow even lessened as the day went on me. Go figure. So I don't see this as glowy. I actually see it as a very lightweight, natural finish, not even radiant. Any radiance you see here is a tad bit of highlighter that I added on, which I shouldn't have done. I didn't add in any bronzer though, because I wanted to kind of point out the yellowness of where I put the powder, because it is yellow. This is beautiful. It is not sinking into lines. It is not showing pores. This is so far beautiful, but I want to try to at least let it go 8 hours because we need it to at least last that long. And these moisturizers do tend to kind of the color breaks away, so that'll be interesting to see, but the wear test wears on. Okay, Dolce & Gabbana now, as you know, for $72 have their Ever Icon eye palette that comes in 3 different color stories. It's a rose color story that I avoided because I usually would go for that. And I bought the Amber Venus, which is iconic browns. We are going to look at this here in the pan and outside in natural, warm California sunshine. As you guys probably know, I am doing what I like to personally call the Atlantic Alliance with my friend Hannah, who runs Han Beauty 101 over in the UK. And Han has bought this product, but not in brown. She went ahead and bought the Chrome Star Sleek Gray version, the cooler tone. Now, Hannah loves eyeshadow. She doesn't just wear cool tones. She tends to prefer them, but she doesn't just wear them. But for this, because that will really show off to the best on her cool tone skin, Hannah has bought the Chrome Star Sleek Grays. That review is not quite up on her channel yet. She is waiting for its arrival, but it will be. So please keep that in mind. And I got the iconic browns, which here you can see them in the pan. Missing is the rose shades, which did look very pretty, but I decided to only get one because, you know, expenses. This holiday season, we got a lot of expensive releases. Now, in terms of the case, it is either gorgeous or gaudy, something that starts with a G. I think this is very Dolce & Gabbana. They can be a little Euro trashy. Don't go, that's rude, Rebecca. I love Dolce & Gabbana. I love their secondary line, D&G. I love Dolce & Gabbana. I love the designers. I love everything about them. But sometimes they can get a little Versace trashy, and I love that about them too. It's actually a compliment. This is a nice weighty palette. It is metal, and it's got this beautiful heart on it. I mean, it's a little bit ostentatious, but you go, Dolce & Gabbana. We love you. Now, the interesting thing about this palette is it's considered to be a day and night palette. You've heard the joke, I'm sure, that I'm expected to go from day into night a lot less than I thought I would have to as a child. And I do agree with that meme that goes around. I don't know when I've ever done that. Office to cocktails. I've never done that. But anyway, this is a day and night palette. They're saying it's the only one you'll ever need. You have this beautiful kind of sparkly shade in the middle, and then they're saying that the right side of the palette, that would be this side right here, is the daytime shades, and this side of the palette is nighttime shades. And I guess you share the middle, nighttime, daytime. So what the heck, when we do we'll do it with 2 different looks. I have 2 eyes. The good Lord above gave us 2 eyes for comparison. That's why. It isn't so that you can see it, so you can compare eyeshadow shades. All right, let's take this palette outside into the warm California sunshine. Here we go. First in direct light, I'm going to walk it into some kind of indirect light in a moment. But you can see all of those shades there. I just kind of lined them up, and I went in a clockwise motion and put the sparkly shade at the end. I think the sparkly shade is supposed to be shared, and that top shade is supposed to be shared, but they are really, really pretty. And like I said, since we're in the middle of a wear test anyway, let's go ahead and do one eye day and one eye night. Let's use Sonia G brushes, and we'll do the day side over here. So I'll go in right here. These are very creamy shades. Ooh, isn't that pretty? There's kind of a silky shade. Okay, and then day would be here too, right? Because we're going to share that one. Going to go back and forth in the crease. We'll see if you guys can see the difference. Now, does this need to be worn day, side, night? No, do whatever you want. I'm gonna go with what they said just for fun, but you don't need to. And then that deeper daytime shade, same brush. You know, it's kind of funny, you guys, you never know how you're going to upset people. I try to use the same brush a lot because I figure I am trying to be every woman here, and I know how busy we are. And some of you that even have young kids and trying to get out the door. So I'm just like, let's just grab a brush and make it work. But I've actually had people that are like volatile in comments, use different brushes! And I'm just like, the reason I scream is they always type in all caps. Okay. And then we're going to go into the middle here. And we're going to, okay, put this there. Ooh, what do you think? Now, I don't know theoretically if the sparkle is supposed to be added for day. If you're me, it is. Because I like sparkly things. But, you know, you could have done it without. All right, let's do the night side. I know, you're thinking, didn't you kind of do the night side? All right, let's do a sky brush from Sonia G. I got some new Sonia G brushes coming, guys. If you're a Sonia G fan like I am, she has released some new ones, and I've got those on the way to me that I will use sometime in a video, hopefully next week. So many new products coming up, you guys. I told you Victoria Beckham and Mario, Makeup by Mario foundations, and just a whole bunch of stuff. All right, that is that mutual shared shade between the day and the night. But we're going to keep going deeper here. And underneath. That's pretty, isn't it? Okay, and then this shade right here is kind of a creamy, satiny shade. Definitely a smokier eye. I thought this one was pretty smoky, but... oh, that's pretty, actually. I hadn't bought a brown shadows. I hadn't bought brown shadows in some time. I do know I just did the Byredo palette. If you missed that, I just reviewed the Byredo palette that has a lot of those shades in it. But I hadn't, when I had color choices, I'd always kind of opted for pinks lately. And I think I'm going back into a chocolate brown era. I'm still in my red lip era, but... okay, and then I'm trying to figure out if I want to do as much sparkle on this eye as I did on this eye here, on the other eye. So let's go into the inner corner. Maybe a tad bit on the center of the lid, but not as much as we did on the day eye. Just for something a little bit different. Night and day. And they don't have to be worn that way. You do know that. They don't have to be worn that way. Okay, well, I will keep my night and day funny looking double eye here. And I'm going to go on with doing the things I have to do, which includes errands. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that speak to me when I'm doing my errands and are kind of like, should we tell her that her eye makeup's different? Probably they won't notice at all, which is maybe a sadder statement. Okay, and I will be back in quite a few hours, and we will give this another look on the foundation and see how long the eyeshadow has lasted too, because this eyeshadow promises to last for a long time. Well, we'll just see about that, won't we? Okay, it has been a total of 8 hours. For transparency, about an hour and a half ago, I reapplied that YSL lip ink, and it's not as shiny anymore. It's a little bit like a stain now because I had something to eat and drink, but it is still on. I love these inks. Okay. So we're going to talk here about the end of our wear test, and I'll tell you what I recommend and what I don't. Let's look at our Dolce&Gabbana eyeshadow first. Again, the Ever Icon Eye Palette for $72. Here is our, I haven't touched it. Here is our day and night. At this point, they've been on for about 4 hours or so, and they're doing really well. The color, it looks brushy applied, frankly, and it's actually really pretty. These are highly pigmented. They're beautiful. I mean, talk about a great holiday gift for the makeup lover in your life. It's just it's a really pretty palette. I find the shades nice and saturated. I know you guys love people in my audience tend to love saturated shades, and this is really saturated, unlike like the Chanel buttons, you know, that were so kind of, people said this about Louis Vuitton as well. They were just really faint, kind of keeping with that, you know, minimal eye look. This is really back to a very intense, I mean, look at this eye, very intense shades, and they're really pretty. Even the daytime eye, if you look beyond the glitter, is, you know, and it's got that glitter, you know, but they're powerful. They're there without being overwhelming and without getting away from you as you apply. So nice, really, really nice, and I highly recommend it. $72, so it's pricey, but it's pretty, and it would be a nice gift, and it's got a nice mirror in there and a fun shape. It's nice. So that's a plus for my eyeshadow lovers out there. Watch for Hannah, my Atlantic Alliance, who is going, her channel, Han Beauty 101. I will link that below. She is going to be doing the Chrome Star Sleek Grays version any day now, as soon as hers gets there. Okay, let's talk about our Gucci. Actually, it's holding up very well at 8 hours. I actually didn't expect it to. Remember when I very, very first put it on, I said I didn't feel it on my face, but when I touched my face, it felt kind of moisturized. That's gone away. I mean, it's definitely sunken in, but I'm really not having any trouble with it. It's still kind of blurring. It's breaking up a little bit here. It's a tinted moisturizer. This isn't like the Charlotte product that's like, this lasts for 2.5 weeks on an island when you're dropped 10 people by helicopter into the jungle wearing this Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, I've been recording too much. I'm losing it. But anyway, it's not like that. This is just a tinted moisturizer. So it's breaking up a little bit here, but I actually think it's quite pretty. And I do prefer this kind of a look. Do I prefer this to the Armani? Oh, please don't make me choose. I guess this, but I love the Armani too. This powder is definitely medium coverage. It's definitely scented, so be careful there. I think it does a great job. It's really kept everything blurred, but shade matters, especially when you're using it. I said this already, and I have gone to yellow, so it's not going to be that useful for me, maybe unless it doesn't show as much over you know, a more full coverage foundation, but I don't wear really full coverage foundation, so. Oh, it sucks to be me. What can I say? Not really. Okay, so let me know your thoughts and if you've tried it, but basically a thumbs up all around. Just choose that shade right. I mean, it's going to be harder to get the right shade in this than it is in this because these are kind of stretchy, you know? All right, so let me know your thoughts down below. So many new products coming up. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I got Dior. I got Victoria Beckham Beauty. I got, oh my goodness, what else is coming? I've got so much coming. I've got Guerlain coming. I have got, I don't know, you guys. I got so much coming up. If you name it, I got it coming up. So make sure that you stick around here. I'll meet you guys in the comments to chat about everything and answer any of your questions. Otherwise, make sure that you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. We've got a Facebook page. We've got a membership right here on YouTube. We meet weekly. I'd love to see you there. And, you know, make sure that you share and like and subscribe, of course. And I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.